Welcome to our deep dive. We'll be exploring the ultimate character of a Muslim youth. It's a book published by Muslim Hands Uganda Limited, a compelling guide for young Muslims today. But first, a quick heads up. This deep dive is AI-powered. We've pulled out the key points, but always double-check with a scholar for deeper understanding.
Exactly. Think of it like a starting point to really spark your curiosity.
So who's behind this book anyway? It's written by Abu Productive, a well-known Islamic scholar
And youth mentor.
known for his engaging style.
And his way of making Islamic teachings relatable.
He gets right to the heart of what it means to be a young Muslim in today's world,
Tackling all sorts of topics.
that are relevant to your journey,
It's like he's laid out a path
guiding young Muslims,
towards strong character, a deep connection with Allah.
and a positive impact on the world.
It's quite a journey.
All right, let's dive right in. The book kicks off with this powerful message. You are valuable. It reminds us that Islam values youth and recognizes their potential.
Right away, it highlights the story of the people of the cave,
From Surah Al-Kahf.
facing a society that worshipped idols. These young men stood firm in their belief in one God,
Their courage,
their unwavering faith.
it's celebrated in the Quran, a powerful example for young Muslims today.
Exactly. It's like the book is saying, look, if they could do it, so can you.
I always get chills when I hear that story. Imagine the pressure they must have felt. But they held their ground.
And to drive that point home even further, the book looks at the lives of prophets like Ibrahim, Moses, and Joseph,
Peace be upon them all.
facing huge challenges in their youth,
Showing us that those struggles,
can actually be what pushes us to grow.
it's a testament to the strength young people have.
Absolutely. Speaking of potential, the book talks about a beautiful hadith about the 7 people shaded by Allah on the Day of Judgment,
One of those people.
is described as a youth who grew up in the worship of Allah.
I love that. It shows that even small efforts
Consistent efforts
to connect with Allah
are valuable.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your past looks like. Anyone can turn their life around and strive to be close to their Creator.
that message of hope. It's woven throughout the whole book.
Now, from this foundation of knowing your worth
The book takes a really interesting turn.
towards mindfulness and self-awareness,
Mindfulness is a big topic these days. How does the book link it to Islam?
it starts with this captivating metaphor. Imagine your soul as a lamp, fueled by the Quran. You can find this imagery in Surat An-Nur.
Verses 35 and 36.
Beautiful imagery.
Hold on, let me picture this. So the Quran is the fuel, but what exactly is the lamp?
It breaks it down like this. Your rib cage is the niche, holding the lamp. Your heart is the lamp itself.
And the fuel,
Your ruh, your spirit, like pure olive oil,
known for its purity.
and its ability to light up the darkness.
That's a powerful image. It's like the book is saying, you have this amazing potential for inner light, but you have to keep fueling it.
With the words of Allah.
But it doesn't stop there, does it?
No, it goes on to say that this light, it's not meant to be hidden. It's meant to be shared with the world.
So it's not just about personal growth.
It's about igniting your own spirit and using that light to guide others.
I love that.
It's a reminder that our actions, our character, it affects those around us.
In a world full of distractions, maintaining that inner light can be tough.
You're right. The book cautions against dimming that light by wasting time and neglecting our spiritual needs.
It's so easy to get caught up in life
Yeah,
and forget to take care of our souls.
it is. That's why the book stresses
Mhm.
the importance of making mindful decisions.
What does that look like?
It encourages us to pause before we make choices, to seek inner peace, clarity
So making decisions.
that align with our values,
Uh-huh.
bringing us closer to Allah, not just reacting to what's happening around us.
I see.
And to help us with those decisions, the book introduces this framework, the 8 levels of pursuit,
Like climbing a ladder.
with each rung representing a different level of striving.
Okay, tell me more. What are some of these levels?
Well, it starts with pursuits we might be familiar with, like happiness or wealth.
Then what?
Then it climbs higher, to things like knowledge, excellence,
And ultimately,
truth.
it's like it's saying, aim higher.
Strive for goals that have lasting meaning.
I get it.
And it emphasizes that it's not just about reaching the top. It's about the effort we put in, the continuous striving,
You do better.
refining our intentions and actions.
So even if we don't achieve everything, the effort itself is valuable.
In Allah's eyes.
Absolutely.
And speaking of effort, the book moves on to a topic I know you're passionate about.
Time management.
Time management, oh yes. Always working on that, making the most of every moment.
The book echoes that. emphasizing that time is a gift from Allah
A precious gift.
and will be held accountable for how we use it.
Not just our deeds.
But our intentions too.
So every moment counts.
And the book doesn't just leave us hanging.
It actually gives us practical tips.
To manage our time effectively.
Right, I'm all ears.
It stresses planning, setting goals,
Yeah.
prioritizing.
Classic time management stuff. It also encourages us to wake up early, referencing the Prophet's sayings, peace be upon him, about the blessings of those early hours.
I'm a big believer in early mornings. It's like you carve out this sacred time.
For yourself and your goals.
Absolutely.
And to boost our productivity even more, it suggests we avoid procrastination, regularly self-reflect, and tap into the power of routines.
Routines are key. When we build good habits, we free up so much mental energy.
For the things that matter most.
I love how it links routines to Islamic practices, like the 5 daily prayers or fasting during Ramadan.
Building discipline.
It's not just about fulfilling obligations.
It's training for a more disciplined life.
I've never thought about it that way.
He's brilliant.
These acts of worship, they're shaping us.
From this foundation of time management and discipline, the book moves to a really crucial topic, friendships and character.
Especially as young people, friendships are a huge part of our lives.
The book starts with a powerful hadith. A man follows the faith, ways and habits of his friends.
A reminder that the people we spend time with have a deep impact on us.
On who we are, who we become.
It's like that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But this hadith takes it even further.
Emphasizing the influence friends have on our beliefs.
And actions.
Exactly. And to illustrate this, the book uses the analogy of a blacksmith.
And a perfume seller.
Imagine walking down a street. You pass a blacksmith, and you're hit with this smell of smoke and metal.
Then you pass a perfume seller.
Enveloped in this beautiful fragrance.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Who are you surrounding yourself with?
Are your friends lifting you up?
Or dragging you down?
Inspiring you?
Or leading you astray?
That's a powerful way to put it.
And the book doesn't shy away from peer pressure.
It can be so tough. Especially when you're young. And fitting in feels like everything.
The book encourages us to resist conformity and seek Allah's pleasure above all else.
Even if it means standing out.
Exactly.
Staying true to your values.
Even when it's hard. From this focus on choosing the right friends, the book moves into Islamic manners.
Akhlaq.
Honesty, integrity.
Trustworthiness.
Good qualities.
More than that.
Yeah.
Acts of worship. Even dawah.
Our character is a form of worship, representing Islam to the world.
Precisely. And the book highlights this with a hadith. Nothing will weigh heavier on your scale on the day of judgment than good character.
Wow.
It shows how much emphasis Islam places on character.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The most beloved of you to me are those with the best character." Clearly, good character was so important to him.
Absolutely. Now, talking about character, the book goes into a concept that's closely tied to it. Haya, modesty, and confidence.
This section really resonated with me. Haya, often translated as modesty, but it's a much deeper concept.
It is. The book explains that haya is modesty, humility, and a sense of shame in the face of what displeases Allah.
It's about having that inner compass that guides our behavior.
Exactly. And the book brings it to life through inspiring stories.
I love that. It talks about Fatima, the Prophet's daughter, peace be upon him, her extraordinary humility.
Despite her status.
It tells the story of Moses' wife from Surat al-Qasas, her mindful, respectful approach.
Such powerful examples.
And it even highlights the modesty of Uthman ibn Affan, a companion of the Prophet, peace be upon him, known for his impeccable character.
It makes haya so much more relatable, seeing how it played out in real life.
And here's a question the book asks. Think about your online presence. Are your posts and interactions in line with this concept of haya?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's easy to forget about haya online.
But it's just as important.
Our online actions, they reflect our character.
And how we represent Islam to the world.
You're absolutely right.
And speaking of representing Islam to the world, the book goes into social justice and civic responsibility. It reminds us that we're not just individuals, we're part of a bigger community.
And that comes with responsibilities.
It's like it takes an ummah.
Yeah, exactly.
The book quotes a powerful verse from the Quran, 3.110. It says, "Muslims are the best community brought forth for mankind."
A powerful statement.
It's a call to action,
To serve others.
to contribute to the well-being of society.
It reminds me of that beautiful hadith where the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, The best of people are those who are most beneficial to people.
It's such a simple message.
But so profound.
The book really emphasizes that our faith isn't just about personal piety.
It's about making a difference in the world.
And it gives us some concrete examples. It talks about the Pact of the Virtuous.
What's that?
It was an agreement among various tribes in Mecca, focusing on justice and protecting the vulnerable.
Even standing up to those in power.
Even then.
Wow.
And the prophet, peace be upon him, participated in this. Even before he received revelation,
Right.
it shows his commitment to righteousness.
Even in a society full of corruption.
Exactly. The book then connects this historical example to Quranic verses about cooperation and justice, 5.2 and 4.135, guiding principles.
For how we engage in our communities.
Working together to uphold righteousness.
It's like a blueprint.
For a just society.
I'm also reminded of that hadith about changing evil. With our hands, tongues, or hearts.
You're right to bring that up. It shows we all have a role to play in fighting injustice.
No matter how small our actions may seem.
Even a silent prayer for those who are oppressed.
It's a form of resistance.
Is.
What I find fascinating is that the book doesn't just focus on human rights.
Right.
It talks about animal rights and environmental stewardship, too.
It's a perspective we often overlook.
But it's so important.
We're responsible for all of Allah's creation.
Not just humans.
We're entrusted with this planet and all its inhabitants.
It's a holistic approach, recognizing that our actions have ripple effects.
Absolutely. Speaking of extending ourselves, the book dives into charity and generosity.
Charity, one of my favorite topics in Islam.
It's where we see the beauty of our faith.
In action.
The book emphasizes that giving in the way of Allah is more than a transaction.
It's an act of love.
Compassion.
Gratitude.
Beautifully put. The book highlights those verses about spending in the way of Allah, 2.261, and 57.1. They paint such a vivid picture
of how our generosity can multiply.
Not just in this life, but in the hereafter, too.
Sometimes we think of charity as this grand gesture.
Right.
But the book reminds us it can be so many things.
It can. What I love about this section is how it expands our understanding of charity.
So it's not just about giving money.
Not at all. It could be making dua,
sharing knowledge,
offering kind words,
even just smiling at someone.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we all have something to give.
No matter our financial situation.
And it encourages us to make these acts a part of our daily lives.
Not just a once-in-a-while thing.
Cultivating a spirit of generosity.
That touches everything we do.
You've got it. And the book reminds us, charity isn't just for strangers or those in need. It's for our loved ones, too.
It's true. Sometimes the people closest to us need it most.
We might take them for granted.
Overlook their needs.
But spending time with family, offering encouragement, being patient.
Those are all acts of charity.
Strengthening our bonds, bringing joy.
It's about giving a way of life.
A reflection of our love for Allah.
And our desire to please Him.
Beautifully said.
Mm.
Now, shifting gears a bit, the book talks about hardships.
Life is full of them.
Ups and downs. And the book recognizes that.
It's not a matter of if we'll face challenges.
But how?
It's about how we face them.
The book emphasizes that hardships aren't just tests.
They're opportunities
to grow.
To become stronger.
They can refine our character, build resilience, and deepen our connection with Allah.
It's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
But it's more than just physical strength.
What's about our character, our resilience, our connection with Allah.
And to illustrate this point,
the book turns to the story of Prophet Yusuf.
Peace be upon him.
His life was full of trials.
And triumphs.
His story in Surah Yusuf, it's a powerful example
of how to navigate hardship.
With grace, integrity, and faith.
It's one of my favorite stories in the Quran.
So beautifully told. And so much wisdom to learn from.
What are some key takeaways?
To trust in Allah's plan. To be patient, even when things are tough. To uphold our values.
Even when we're tempted to compromise.
And to seek internal growth.
Khushu.
Especially when we feel most vulnerable.
Khushu, that's an important concept.
It's often misunderstood.
People translate it as humility.
But it's deeper than that.
It's about a deep awareness of Allah.
A state of awe and reverence.
That guides everything we do.
Like our hearts are always attuned to Allah.
No matter what's happening around us.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes that during hardship, we need to cultivate khushu.
Turn inward.
Strengthen our connection with Allah.
Not rely on the fleeting comforts of this world.
True strength comes from our Creator.
Not our circumstances.
And the book reminds us that with every hardship comes ease.
As Allah promises in Surah Ash-Shar,
A message of hope
it's like a reminder.
that even in the darkest times, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
That verse always brings me comfort.
And to lift our spirits even more, the book encourages us to help others.
When we're going through our own struggles,
Yes.
that seems counterintuitive.
But it makes sense.
When we focus on others, we shift our perspective.
We remember we're not alone.
By helping others, we create a ripple effect of compassion.
Lifting everyone up.
It's recognizing that even when we're struggling,
We still have something to offer.
and giving can be healing.
For both the giver and receiver.
This conversation about hardships, it makes me think about leadership.
Especially during tough times.
How does the book define leadership?
True leadership. It's not about power, it's about service.
Okay.
Embodying Islamic values.
It's about guiding others
Through actions.
that reflect compassion, wisdom, and integrity.
You've got it. The book talks about setting a good example, inspiring others, making a positive difference,
That's what it's all about, empowering others
working together.
towards a common goal.
And the book links this Islamic understanding of leadership to Stephen Covey's 7 Habits.
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Have you read it?
I have. I was struck by how many habits aligned with Islam.
They do. Covey talks about being proactive, beginning with the end in mind,
Putting first things first,
thinking win-win,
seeking first to understand, then to be understood,
energizing.
and sharpening the saw.
All these habits,
They resonate with Islamic values.
like sincerity, planning, prioritizing,
Justice, empathy, cooperation.
self-improvement,
It shows these principles of leadership. They're universal.
found in so many different places. And speaking of wisdom, the book concludes with some timeless advice.
I love timeless wisdom.
It draws on 2 sources,
Which ones?
Luqman's advice to his son in Surat Luqman and the Prophet Muhammad's final sermon, peace be upon him.
2 powerful sources.
They are. Luqman's advice, it covers so much.
Like
Avoiding shirk, praying, upholding justice.
patience, humility, kindness.
It's a guide to living a righteous life.
And the Prophet's final sermon, delivered just before his death.
It sums up his teaching.
The essence of Islam.
A blueprint for a compassionate society.
What does it cover?
Respecting life and property. Avoiding interest. Treating women well. Upholding brotherhood.
And following the Quran and Sunnah
It's a powerful reminder.
of the values we need to build a better world.
You said it.
It's amazing how much we've covered. From our inner selves to our hopes and dreams. The book ties it all together.
So much wisdom.
From personal growth to our role in society.
It really shows the beauty of Islam.
How it guides us in every aspect of life. As we wrap up, I keep thinking back to that message. You are valuable.
So important.
That runs through the whole book.
Reminding us of our worth.
And the potential we all have.
It's a message every young Muslim needs to hear.
The world sends so many mixed messages.
But Islam affirms our value,
Our purpose.
our ability to make a difference,
And the book gives us the tools
the guidance
to live up to that potential.
to build strong character
Stacked with
and leave a positive mark on the world
a roadmap for life.
for facing the challenges and embracing the opportunities.
As we go out into the world, with all these insights, I want to leave you with a question the book asks. Knowing that Allah values our efforts, even the small ones,
Yeah.
what one action will you take today to embody what we've talked about
Let that be your guide,
as you strive to make a difference?
no matter how big or small. And remember, this deep dive, it's just the beginning.
Keep seeking knowledge.
Keep asking questions
Keep striving.
to be the best version of yourself.
And while we've discussed a lot, it's always best to consult with scholars.
For deeper understanding,
Continuous learning.
it's part of our journey as Muslims.
So keep learning, keep growing, keep striving to make a difference. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the ultimate character of Muslim youth. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and stay inspired.